Welcome back to Profi Plays. I'm Profi, and we are going to be heading out right toward the Mossy Chambers. We are currently here in Barren Cliff, or Barren Cliffs, one of those. And then we're going to head just straight to the southeast. Right here is the Mossy Chamber, there in the mountains, where we are hoping to find some additional treasure, which may be worth selling and perhaps can allow some additional carousing, allow us to gain additional experience as we are trying to prepare ourselves, right, for a much more difficult challenge as we go eventually after the Hammer of Laios, so we can learn more about Laios and Laios's secrets. All right. So that is our overarching goal, right? But for now, let's go ahead and leave town, march over this direction. So I think it makes sense we're leaving here in the morning, right? So we're going to head out. Do we have any random encounter? Let's see, here in D1. The answer is certainly not. And do we have any random encounter as we are approaching, right, the Mossy Chambers? The answer again is certainly not. Okay, cool. So I can go ahead and set that map aside and bring out our new map, right, for the Mossy Chambers. Okay, so this is the general setup of the Mossy Chambers. What we know about them is that they are fortified, right? So what exactly that means, I imagine that's going to tell us about the look of them. Now, we are in the mountains. I'm going to make the assumption here that in terms of, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull out my, I'm not going to make some assumptions. The Dungeon Point Crawl Generator here. Um, so fortified would be the aesthetic of it. So it tells us the first levels were once furnished by humanoids. Okay, that tells us something. So there is right here's our entrance. Right, this whole first level. It was once furnished by some kind of humanoids. We know we're not that far from a goblin castle, so it could possibly be all of it be goblins, or it could be something else. We don't really know much as far as that goes. We don't know much in terms of the specific architecture type, except for the fact that it is fortified. The dungeon type. Again, we don't know much detail about that. Mossy Chambers. So chambers to me suggests that it might be a crypt or something like that, right? So odds are good that if we go down to the very bottom, that we are going to find, right, some kind of like a tomb or something like that. Okay. And in fact, oh, right there. Okay. Right, so I think it makes sense the Mossy Chambers are probably some kind of crypt. That makes perfect sense to me. All right, but right now we're just going to go and see what we can find here. We know that it's currently being um, occupied, I guess might be the right word, by a number of different types of creatures, depending on where you go, right, within, right, the dungeon. All right, the first thing we need to do, though, is we need to get into this entrance. And I may notice, unlike the Tunnels of Doom, if you watch those videos, I'm not building this as we go, I kind of built this all out. So really, here we can just focus on the exploration part. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that then. We made it there, we're at the entrance, and I want to know, now the entrance here, obviously, right, it is an obvious entrance. This is a place that was once um, occupied and was built, was um, furnished right by some kind of humanoid creatures. But I want to know, does anything in particular protect this entrance? Answer is one. The one says nothing. All right, cool. Right, so nothing in particular is protecting the entrance. All right, so we managed to get then into the first chamber, and we can find exits right from that first chamber, right, either to the northeast, right, or to the south. Now, I think I want to explore the south. That's my inclination right now. Any particular reason? No. No, no particular reason at all. Right, so just want to note here that I went into entrance. There's nothing there, but maybe I'll note that on a separate sheet here for, so for D4, the Mossy Chambers, or Champers, as I apparently can't spell. Entrance, no protection. Like nothing is guarding it at all. All right, then I'm going to look at room number, I'm just going to write down room number 3. Yeah, maybe I should give each of the rooms a number and then talk about what's in them. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 8 rooms in this dungeon, so it's fairly small. And so we're going to go into room 3. Right, so I made a note here. We're going into room 3. Let's see what is in room 3. So room type, find you 6. D6 here. 4. 4 indicates this is a special room. All right. So I get to roll my D100 and find out what is in this special room. 19. 19. Okay. A divination basin. Right, so it's a small basin at the entrance of the room allows anyone who dips their head into it to have visions. The nature of the visions can be influenced by adding different kinds of fluids to the water of the basin. So, for example, you can see the person's past, fears, offspring, or future. Ooh. Okay, well, I I'm I'm gonna avoid that because we are not here for that. I'm imagining here we are being very mercenary here. Um, so I'm just gonna make a note. This is where the divination basin is. If at some point we might need to know these types of things but about ourselves. Oh, unless, oh, I suppose it might be you could get tears, sweat, blood, or saliva from somebody else to find out about them. That would be potentially useful. In any case, we're going to keep this here for now, especially if I can find out. Yeah, yeah, that this could actually be very useful if we can remember this exists. Right then, if I could get some of the tears of Laios from when he was alive, that could possibly tell us something about how he managed to pull off being able to continue having wizardly powers as a ghost. That is something that's potentially useful. But in any case, nothing immediately obvious. Oh, wait, you know what? I forgot to light a torch. So we're wandering around in the dark, aren't we? All right. Another thing that I realized as I start, I also forgot to buy torches. So, Hrogar just lit a torch and they say, okay, we have how many torches between us? And the answer is, we have one more. Okay. Let's hope nobody drops it. All right. So, in any case, we've got nine. Okay. Nine turns left. So, it's going to immediately go down to 8 because we're going to head down into room number 6. Let's find out what is in room 6. Room 6, 5, this would indicate that it's a monster room. Okay, cool. So it's a monster room. Need to find out what kind of monsters are here. So I'm going to roll on my monster table. The monster table right here, we're in level 1 still. So this is going to be a 3. It's a goblin. An unaffiliated goblin. All right. So let's find out what we know about goblins. I believe that I have this information in here. Yep. So goblin is a short, hairless humanoid with green skin and pointy ears. Right. And it can't be surprised. It is chaotically aligned. In this case, it's a level 1 creature. All right, so I found a goblin. All right, so I guess that's a question, right? How is it inclined? Is it automatically hostile? Would be a question for us. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just ask the Oracle that one, right? So is this goblin that we found, I'm just going to pull this thing out. There's the goblin. Right? Is it automatically hostile to us? Which it might be. There are no goblins amongst us, right? We are a couple humans, a half orc, and a halfling. It's believable, right, that it would in fact be automatically hostile. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to give it a 50-50 chance. We'll roll here using the Dark Oracle. The answer is no. But, okay, so it is not automatically hostile toward us, but so it's a weak no. So it could be easily turned hostile toward us. So I'm wondering if there's something specific here that might trigger that but right, part of it. Okay, let's see. I'm rolling on the prompts table just to see. Wait, so 5, deliver, just see if this gives me some sense. 61, mind. Ooh, deliver mind. That's interesting. Okay, so we have here a goblin. I wonder what was the goblin doing right, when we came in. That's something that we can't. We have a table for that, don't we? Just have to find where I put this thing. Okay, there it is. Okay, so what is the activity that it was undertaking? 6. So it was eating, right? So that suggests, right? We know that this level It has very humanoid architecture to it. The goblin is here eating, so that does suggest the goblin lives here. Right. Now, even though we know this goblin is not part of the faction of goblins that would occasionally show up here, nonetheless, right, it is here, right? Um, and it's eating. Okay, so we interrupted its food, and I could see. Okay, so here's what we're getting. So it is not automatically hostile to us, but it is somewhat suspicious of us. It is not so interested um in sharing its food with us. I think that in particular, I think, is its concern. Right? Is it doesn't want to share its bread and cheese or whatever it happens to be eating. Its fish. I don't know. Right? So probably a combination of those things. Let's say. And so now the real thing we are interested in though is there treasure in this room that is actually perhaps useful to us? So it's a 50% chance of roll 50 or under, then yes, the answer is no, actually. All we found was a goblin eating his lunch. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean it's probably at this point at least mid-morning. It might even be brunch. Right. It's a brunching goblin. Okay. So yeah, all right. I guess that's that. So no treasure. Well, I guess we bid the goblin farewell and continue on our way back, thereby burning some more light. Right, so we're down to 8, 7, 6, 5 as we get into room 2. So, what is room 2 like? 2. 2 would indicate that this is an empty room. What is in the empty room? It's 100. It's a workbench. Okay, so this is establishing again. It was furnished by humanoids, right? So I'm going to go ahead and make a note here of the workbench there. Here in room number 2, so workbench, but it's totally believable. There might be some treasure around this workbench, so let's roll for that. 15% chance. 59. No, no, that there was nothing. All right. Oh well. Right. So again, where were we? One, two, three, four, five. So our torch is half out. 6. Right. Actually, maybe I should just mark over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, we are now in room 5. All right. Here in room 5, let's see what's in there. 5. It's another monster room. All right. So what kind of monster's in here? 3. It's another goblin. Okay. What is this goblin doing? All right. 5. 5 indicates that this one is eating as well. Eating as well. We have these unaffiliated goblins just kind of sitting there dining, right? And now is this one immediately hostile to us? Let's go ahead and roll that one. Okay, yes, but. Okay, it's a yes, but. So I'm going to say the but is just quite simply that he's busy, right? I'm in the middle of eating. I don't particularly love that you're in here, but you know what? I'm in the middle of eating my ham and cheese, right? So this apparently is the top floor of this dungeon is apparent the Mossy Chambers. Apparently, this is a restaurant. Actual private rooms, right, where we have again goblins simply eating. So here it's another monster, a goblin eating. This one might have been inclined to attack us, but is in the middle of eating. We don't seem immediately like we're threatening him, so whatever. He doesn't particularly care, right? So we're going to go ahead and go back out to room number 2. We know that room 2, that all there is a workbench there. Then we're going to head down to level 2. Now, this path, I don't know much about it. So I want to roll a little bit more about this path and what it looks like, because I don't think I fleshed out that particular detail, right, when I designed this. So I need to find, where did I, okay, oh, it's laying open in front of me, of course. All right, so we have this vertical, it's a vertical connection. So the question is, right, what is this connection like? So one, does it go both ways? And two, um, is it secret or oh wait, no, it's not secret or hidden. I don't need to worry about that. So first, just it's a vertical connection. Does it go both ways or does it only go down? This one does go both ways, suggesting it's stairs, right? So there is a set of stairs very clearly going down, right, to a lower level here. I think we are going to head down those stairs to that lower level to room number uh, 4. Just to count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, okay. So get to room number 4. Room number 4. What is room number 4? 3. 3 indicates that it is a empty room. An empty room with what in it? Pen? A banquet table. We go back to the goblins. Like, did you know there's a table downstairs? You just well, in any case, there being a banquet table, there might possibly be some, I don't know, silverware or something that has monetary value that we could possibly grab. Right? Maybe, possibly. Is there? 32? No, I need that to be 15 or less, and it was not. It's a 32. Right, so okay. Nope. Nope. So all right, continue on. Room number 9. Well, I mean, it's technically room number 7, but it's our 9th room on our torch. So the torch is definitely getting a little bit dimmer. It's very clearly on the edge of going out. So let's find out what's in room number 7. 2. 2 indicates that this is, again, an empty room. All there is in these chambers is moss, it turns out. That's the Mossy Chambers. 51. Okay, 51. There's an idol here. Okay, well, that's nice. Um, I'm going to assume here the idol does not count as treasure, so it's probably just something, some kind of statue or something like that, not made out of anything particularly valuable. Probably a stone statue would be what I'm thinking at this point. All right, but is there a treasure here? The answer is again no. Right, 68. Nope, no treasure. All right, so that means the last room, right? Room number 8 is really where it's going to be at. So because this is the last room, things in the dungeon point crawl generator that I'm using uh, gives a little bit different. Oh, you know what? I could have given a little bit more detail in terms of what that vertical link looked like. Oh well, all right, too late now. Right, so the very last room of the dungeon is described differently. It should be located at its deepest level, and it is. Right. It's a major point of interest, which should or could be the reason the PCs want to venture there. I just realized when we went back to room number 4 to head that direction, oh, our torch burnt out. We need to use our last torch, which in itself is not a problem. I mean, yes, absent-minded professor forgot to light torches. All right, so everybody's like, "Oh, I thought you were getting torches." No, I thought you were. Oh, yeah, that's the way life goes sometimes, eh? All right. Well, here we are. So in room 8, right, because we have decided this is a crypt, I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. There we go. This is going to be a tomb, right, whose owner has a 25% chance of being undead. So this is a tomb. Just gonna write that down. So the question is the occupant, right, of this crypt actually undead? 26. No, they're not. Just you have their body here. And it says that they were buried with their riches of enormous value. Fantastic. So this has to be probably the easiest dungeon delve ever. Walk into a restaurant that the owner was buried in. That's what it is. All right. So in any case, Tomb, there is treasure here. All right. So in terms of treasure, I think it makes sense here. We should roll on our treasure table. All right. So we've got our appropriate treasure table. And let's go ahead and roll for that. And where is it? There we go. 99. Seriously? All right. All right. So, I mean, that is a fantastic treasure as far as that goes. I got a bag of holding worth 150 GP. Right. So now, just to be clear, how bags of holding work in this system. Right. So here's how a bag of holding works. It says it has both a benefit and a curse. The benefit is, right, this bag has an interdimensional space inside that can hold up to 10 gear slots. Very nice for if we go into another dungeon sometime. Right. The curse, however, is that placing this item inside another bag of holding or a portable hole destroys both items and everything held inside them. Right? So don't try to stick a bag of holding in a bag of holding, is really what that boils down to. Right. Okay. We got a bag of holding then. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and let the thief, Godfrey, is going to go ahead and carry this one for us. Godfrey, take the bag of holding. There we go. And that's something I think we'd want to keep. I don't imagine us handing that over. Right, so I'm just going to roll to see if we have any random encounters on the way out. And we do have plenty of light. We're burning our last torch. No random encounters on the way out. I'm just going to simplify that so we can very easily travel 1, 2, 3, back out. And out we are. That was a swimmingly and disturbingly easy um, trip through that dungeon. So maybe what we should do, I'm thinking, I'm tempted to go carousing again. Because why not? We didn't get any XP otherwise, right? I mean, okay, no, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. Because we did actually find something. A bag of holding is pretty valuable, so it does actually make sense. No, we would actually get something for that. Um, this, yeah, I think that that would be worth 3 XP for everybody. So I think all of us got 3 XP, right, for the bag of holding. Is I think that'd be considered um, a fabulous treasure. Right, so that brings Godfrey up to 6. It brings Rogar up to 7. It brings Shauna up to 5. And just to be clear, in Shadowdark, and also brings Sage up to 7. Right, so in Shadowdark, whenever you level up, your XP reset right back down to 0. Okay. And then you have to earn all of the XP for the next level. So you need your 10 XP for the first level, 20 for the second, but that means it's 20 new, right? So it's a total of 30 XP to get to level 3. All right. So I mean that's what we've got. I should probably reset this. I mean, I really do kind of want to send them carousing again because if they each chip in like 7 or 8 GP, we could do that. And we'd obviously still have enough money to pay our tithes to the two that we owe money to because we got this bag of holding that's worth 150. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna travel right back to Barren Cliff. Right, so here we go. We're going through here. Oh, except that we are in the plains here when we have a random encounter. That was not what I was anticipating would happen. Because we've just not been rolling for just not been rolling random encounters. All right, so let's go ahead and roll this. I'm gonna roll. If it's above 52, then I'm just going to cut it in half, and it is in fact exactly 52. So as we are crossing the plains here right, in this area, oh wait, no, 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 that's not the way you do it, Professor. First thing you need to do is roll on the random encounter table. Okay, so that'd be the first thing. 6. So it's a faction. Okay, so we need to find out what faction is in this area. I don't think this is a factional area, remember, right? I mean, I can double check that. Okay, so we are in, it's kind of overlapping things here. Okay, no, no, technically we are in the faction. It's the faction for the city we're going to, right? Which, and the hex is not contested at all. So, okay. So in this case, we're just finding people that are, it makes sense would be merchants, right, that are traveling here. So it's actually not any kind of creature that we have to, it's not a wolf or something like that, which is what I rolled on the random table. No, no, this is just somebody connected with the city itself that we're heading toward. Uh, they may be a little bit annoyed that, somebody who burnt down one of their buildings is coming back, but that's it. And remember, they don't love adventurers, and I imagine they probably don't love us, given that history. But on the other hand, we're going to throw them a nice night of um, drinking and regaling with stories of how we so masterfully walked casually from the dungeon to pick up a bag of holding that I'm guessing Goblin, the dead Goblin. restaurant owner. Happy. All right. So, more carousing. Why not? All right. Let's do that. Because honest, I could just keep spending money this way. All right. So let's have Sage is going to spend 8 of his. That brings him down to 54. Right. Who else is my richest? Okay, it's going to be Godfrey. Is also going to spend 8 of his. He's down to 11. Right. Rogar is going to spend 7 of his, so he's down to 9. Oh, gosh. And down to 8 for Ishana. Yeah, you can tell it was definitely Sage was the one that was prepared with money here. All right. So they're going to have a night of carousing. This is just a worthy night of drinking and festivity, right there. Okay, it's not actually recounting your exploits necessarily here, which is probably good because it should happen. All right, so that's a +0. So we're just rolling this straight up. A 6 for Sage. Sage, then the Thieves Guild built you for 5% of your wealth. Okay, so he lost 3, so he's down to 51 GP. But on the other hand, he did gain 4 XP, so he's up to 11. That's nice. Yeah, boy, carousing is the way to go. Okay, then 2 here for Godfrey is the next one that I have on my stack. Oh, yep, Godfrey set something on fire this time. 8 XP. And how long does Godfrey have to be in the stocks? 2 days. Godfrey's in the stocks for 2 days. Okay, but hey, got 2 XP out of it. Rogar, what did Rogar do? 6. Oh, so he got built for 5% of his wealth, which would just be 1. So he's down to 8. All right. But hey, 2 XP, it's 2 XP, right? He's up to 9. Okay. And then finally, Ishana. What happened with Ishana? 2. Every time Ishana goes carousing, he's just burning stuff down. So he is also in the stocks. 2 days this time. Maybe, or maybe he'll learn his lesson that way. All right, so all of my characters now are up to at least right 7 XP, somewhere between 7 and 11, depending on how the carousing rules have gone for them, which is kind of nice because that tells us you can really accumulate XP fast, right, by using the carousing rules. So that is pretty nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and call that a session here. I think next time I'm going to have to do a few things. One, I'm going to have to remember to buy torches because we don't have torches left. And two, I'm going to have to figure out which of the dungeons they're going to want to go to next because they did just completely go through the Mossy Chambers. So there may be somewhere else that they will need to go. All right, so I think we're going to call it there. So thank you for watching, and this is Profi signing off.